For this tutorial, I want to go over how you can quickly and easily brand your images. And I found a program that makes it really easy to do it. And as you can see here, it's called Border Maker. And it's a free program that you can download. Let me pull this down here. And right here from bordermaker.nl. And it runs on Windows, Mac, and Linux. So it pretty much runs on anything. So it just makes things really easy to brand your images, especially if you have a lot of them and want to do it all at once. It makes it really easy. As you can see here, you can put borders around it. You can put watermarks on your images, and it can be in text, or you can use your logo to add to the image as well. So if you want to get that, you can download that, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how easy it is to use it. But first here, I want to pull up Windows and show you here in this folder how I have things set up. Right here I go ahead and put my logo file in a folder called logo, and here I have my original. As you can see, these are all the images that uh, I'm going to edit. So I have them all together in one folder, and then I also here I have a new folder. So this is empty right now, but when I make these images, I'm going to have them go into this folder, and that way if I don't like them and I want to delete them and start over, it just makes it a lot easier instead of having to delete them one by one in the original folder. I mean, if you want to put them in the original folder, that's fine, it's no problem, you can do that too. So I've gone ahead and downloaded Border Maker and installed it already, and I have it open, so I'm just going to pull it up here. And when you open it, it's going to, this is what you're going to see when you first open the program. And right here you have your source option, your settings option, and your destination option. It's a little bit, the interface is a little bit different, so it takes a little bit to get used to it, but you'll pick it up in no time. But right here for the source, and I just showed you in Windows where I was gonna get my pictures from, so I have them in my C drive in a watermark tutorial folder in the original folder. That's where all my original pictures are, and right now it's not showing them, but that's okay because I know that they're there. And this one you can just leave. This is just going to be like a temp file. When it shows you the preview, it's just going to temporarily show you them, and it's not going to actually save the images to that folder. It's just going to, just show them temporarily. I'm going to skip over settings here for a minute because that's going to take the longest. And down here at destination, you can see where you have options to change the file name for the new images that are created, and you can change that. I just go ahead and leave it as is, so I think it's just, it's fine like that. And then here is where you want to select the folder that you want to save your new images that are, that you process. And as you can see here, we've got my watermark tutorial, and in here I've put them in the new folder, so that way I won't get them mixed up with my originals. Now, if you have FTP and you want to upload them, to your website using FTP, you can check that and fill everything out and go ahead and do it that way. Most people aren't gonna bother with that, but that's up to you. You can do it that way if you want. So, I've got these settings already ready to go, and we're going to go up here to the actual settings here in the middle, and that's going to be where, you're going to either select your text, your borders, the watermark, which would be your image, and then these other settings, which really, is just the date, and we're really not going to fool that too much. So the main setting here is the image, and that's mainly if you have your images are different sizes, and you want to have them all the same size to use on Facebook or whatever, and you want to keep them all consistent, you can go ahead and select what size you want them to be, and you can select whether you want them to be the same aspect ratio, or you want it to crop the image or to squeeze the image in. So you can go ahead and make those settings, if they're different sizes and you want to adjust the size. Now here is where you would add in your text, and that would be probably your website address, your URL. And to do that, you can see here we have the plus sign, that's to add something new, the pencils to edit, and then the X's to delete something if you have something in there that you want to take out, and then just the up and down arrows if you want to move things up and down if you have multiple text messages in there. But we're just going to go ahead and click on the plus here, and as you can see, like right here is my text message, and we can move that around, and if you click on these arrows here, you can just put it anywhere you want. And it may not always be exactly where you want, so we have the offset buttons here, so you can slide it over horizontally, or you can move it up and down vertically. And then right up here, you're just going to go ahead and type in your website URL that you want to use, if there's something that you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and leave mine there, and then here also is the rotation. If you wanted to move it around a little bit, you could rotate the text, and you can change the color of the text. So if we wanted something to really stand out, you could change the color. So you can add multiple different types of text. If you wanted something else written on there, you could add more. Just add another one. So here you see we've got another one up there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, but that's going to be good for now for the text. Now you can just click OK for that. As you can see, that went away. But here we're going to check borders, and to do that, we're just going to go ahead and again click the plus sign, and that's going to bring up the border. And here you can go ahead and change the color. It defaults to black. If you don't like black, you can go ahead and change it to something else. I'm going to put it at light gray here, and you can make the border any size you want, bigger, smaller. You can also change the transparency of the border, so if you want to be able to, if you want to make the border bigger and then just kind of be able to see through it a little bit, you can do that. And then down here you can also blur the background, and that's just going to blur right where you have your border. It's not going to blur the actual image here, it's just going to blur it around the edges here. And then also if you want, a round edge, and that's a little bit hard to see, so let me take away the transparency, but you can round your edges here as well if you want them rounded. So that's something that's really kind of neat that you can do too. I am going to go ahead and leave it kind of transparent here a little bit, and I think that's going to look good for now. So I'm going to go ahead and say OK to that. And now here for the watermark, this is where if you have a logo and you want to add in your logo, you're just going to go up here where it says watermark and click browse. And as you remember, I had mine in that folder. I just kept it separately. So I'm going to go to my logo folder and click on the image that I'd already put in there and had it ready to go. So now that's opened up my logo, and it's put it on the image. And just like with the text, I can just move it all around, anywhere that I want the logo. So if I wanted to, move it around a little bit, so it's showing where I want it to be. So you can also here add a shadow if you like. I'm not going to do that, but you can play around with that and go ahead and add a shadow. I'm going to go ahead and say OK to that. Now I'm going to go back here to the text, because I wasn't really, that when I added in the border, it kind of took up where the text was. I want to move that a little bit, so I'm just click here to edit, and I'm just going to go ahead and move that up a little. Actually, I didn't take that one out. I'm going to delete that one. Then I'm going to move this up a little bit, maybe over a little bit, so I can have it right in the middle. So I think that's going to work good. Looks pretty good. It'll give you an idea of how it looks when everything's done. So now that you can see I've got everything done, and like I said, if you want to go back, make any changes or delete anything, you can just go ahead and click on the settings and make those changes. So if you want to preview what it's going to look like, you can preview here. It's going to pull up the picture. Now it's not going to go through the whole folder, but it will show you the the picture, the first picture in the folder, and what it's going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and just close that out, and then I'm going to just click process. So it's going to show you a preview as it's going through of the pictures that it's editing, and I didn't save a whole bunch in here, so you wouldn't have to wait too long. So that's all it's going to do. It's done now. Let me go ahead and pull it up, and as you can see, these are the pull it over here a little bit. These are the original pictures that I have in here, and they don't have anything on them. But here are the new pictures that we just went through. And as you can see here, they've got the border that's blurred. They have the logo, and they have my URL in them. So as we go through each one, now sometimes, like you see back here, if you have a lot of pictures that are different colors, some of it might blend in a little bit. So you might want to change that up a little bit, or maybe do like a batch of pictures that are kind of the same color, darker and then lighter, so that'll work a little bit better for you. But as you can see, it's a really fast way to do a whole batch of images all at once. It just makes things really fast. So I think we're here to the end of it. So that's about it. And just really quick, easy to do. I have like tons and tons of images, probably like 1,000 or more. If you need some images that you want to play with or test it out with, or even use for your social media accounts, you can just drop me a line at Brenny, B-R-E-N-Y, Kindred, K-I-N-D-R-E-D, at gmail.com, or I'll leave a link here somewhere that you can download them, and I'll put them up that you can download them. So that's it. I hope that was helpful to you, and thank you very much for watching.